Good morning, it's AniKaspar. It's 9:47 a.m. on 5/2/2017. Whoops, I apologize for Sophia. Um, I'm looking better, but, pardon me, but I was irradiated again last night. And you can just tell because you wake up uh, pulsing and very, very hot. And you also feel ill, which of course I am ill because this is now cancer growing. That was gone forever, for over 18 months. It didn't need to be addressed. Thank God I do have some really strong antioxidant things that I take that are helping, but I need a lot more if I'm going to survive this because this is a pretty serious assault. Based on the research that I have been doing, it's rather clear that I am perceived to be some kind of really serious enemy of this evolving New World Order, or unveiling deep state of psychopathic illness. I'm sorry to be so, but I'm a little punch drunk after, my gosh, what's today? Tuesday, the 2nd? It started on April 14th at 4:30, and it has been relentless. It's chased several people out of my home as well as my cat for some time, but it is better. And I'm trying to heal enough to be able to depart and find safer climes. To that end, I ask my Facebook friends to please think very, very deeply within their heart about anyone who would be able to, especially out of the United States, offer me safe refuge for a time. One of the major reasons I'm in this position is because the United States, in a very, very intricate and concerted program, has basically denied me all of my ability to earn income, as well as to collect, sweetheart, come on, to collect on my true Social Security. In essence, the country has stolen all of my money, several careers, my health, um, my social life, pretty much everything. So I suppose one could say that I'm like the equivalent, a Russian dissident in the 60s or 70s, or I don't know. I mean, maybe even under Stalin, because this is just slow kill. And kill is kill, slow or fast. I would say that it's more merciful, actually, to be fast. So I suppose these types of 21st century Zersetzung programs could be perceived as some of the most barbaric ever. I was listening to a wonderful interview with a PhD who's done an enormous amount of research on the phenomena of targeting and gang stalking in the United States, particularly. And he has it down. I'm not going to mention his name now because I'll put it below perhaps, or perhaps you'll find him on my page, but trying to kind of stay as neutral as possible, be unaffiliated with anyone, although I do appreciate his work enormously. And I think if you were to take some time and listen to his videos, I believe he's targeted as well. Um, she wants to go out, but they're working on the house next door, so she's just like, there's too much noise, Mom, I'm not going to go. So she's having her little, kitten thing. And without doubt, I've been very severely targeted for quite some time, and without doubt, since 2011, in a manner that is just absolutely, it's just aggressive beyond compare. And if you think about the concept of the military and this deep state, New World Order apparatus waging a war against civilians, because that's what this is, then you begin to understand how ridiculous this becomes, because it's impossible for a civilian, unless of course they're in the heart of source very deeply, which I am, that's why I survived, but it's pretty impossible for the majority of citizens to endure something of this nature. So I'm very carefully moving, because I have moved 7 times since 2011. And that's their intent. Their intent is to constantly stress you out so that you have a heart attack or get cancer or die. That's just their bottom line. Then it looks like, oh, it's a life misfortune. Bull crap. It's not a life misfortune. It's them perpetually hunting you and destroying your social networks, your economic networks, your health, your well-being, your peace, I mean, you should see what has been done to the gardens from this microwaving. I mean, the leaves, of course I've recorded it all, but the leaves on the trees are burnt. The grass is burnt. It's just absurd. So again, I ask my friends to think very carefully of a place where I might be able to secure safe refuge. I do have a wonderful offer from a beautiful, beautiful woman in Europe, and I'm pretty sure that's where I'm going to be going. But I don't want to be a burden to anyone, so I'm trying to prepare for being able to have my own space. The other thing I would ask my friends on Facebook to please do, as I have asked many times over the past 3 years, and I guess you guys didn't believe me, but please do contribute to Annie-Rising. Please contribute to Annie-Rising so I can survive this. If it wasn't for the contributions that were made in the past 3 years, I would not have survived. No one can survive on $760 a month, actually about $860 a month with other benefits. Uh, Even with Section 8, it's impossible. You are sub poverty. So you're basically at the very edge of destitution. And for someone who has made a lot of money in many ways and has been pretty brilliant throughout her life, this is a very difficult scenario to endure, even in my most meditative and compassionate moments. And lastly, I would ask, and this has been a big issue for a while, and I thought I had this done recently, but every time I try to do this, it disappears again. I need someone who can work with me to do a website for my artwork so that I can work on commission for my artwork. And I need someone who can also put together a really robust fundraising campaign for myself, my artwork, and the work that I do for human rights worldwide. The particular focus has been on the listed individuals, on targeting and on organized stalking, and this level of 21st century Zersetzung that every person in the world is going to have to contend with in the next 5 to 10 years, because this program has been a rollout for more than 20 years. In fact, I would say that all elements were in place by probably 1985. And that's after much research. So as you probably have noted with me, I really don't say something unless I have documented and I have factual evidence to indicate that what I'm saying is actually a true conclusion or a fact. I see we have some cloud cover coming in, and of course this is because I'm recording, and of course they don't want me to speak about the torture that's being done to me and has been being done to me now for 20 years, but really aggressively since 2011, and outrageously here in Sarasota, Florida, since April 14th, 2017. Since I made formal requests for my human, civil, and constitutional rights. If you have any questions, please feel free to ring me at 941-356-8007 or email me at Annie, ANIKaspar, KASPAR @gmail.com, or at ANNE Kaspar, KASPAR, the number 8 @gmail.com. Again, this is an urgent plea. I truly need help from my community of friends throughout the world to be able to survive what one could never even begin to imagine could be possible until one is forced by events 24/7 to acknowledge as true. Thank you.